And like many members on this side of the House who have started a small business, I'd refer you to my register of interests. It's been a fascinating debate listening to stories of businesses right across the country. I was particularly moved by my honourable friend, the member for Keighley, who talked about the pressure facing a local gym. It made me feel better as I am contributing to my local gym by paying the membership fees and not using any of the facilities. Madam Deputy Speaker, 7 months ago, when Labour came to power, the new government proclaimed economic growth as its first mission. For all the doom-mongering, Labour inherited an economy that had turned a corner following the pandemic and energy crisis. It was growing. Energy bills were falling, inflation was back on target, and employment was high. But in 7 short months, economic growth has stalled. The Bank of England halved its growth forecasts. The cost of living is rising again with high inflation and energy bills, and unemployment is increasing as businesses brace for tax rises. Britain's economy is stuttering because of this government's failing policies. A family business tax to break up thriving enterprises. A jobs tax to make it more expensive for businesses to employ people. A business rate hike to squeeze the already struggling British high street, and more employment red tape to tie businesses' hands. But Labour isn't content with cutting jobs and closing businesses, Madam Deputy Speaker. They're giving ministers the power to shrink the great British pint. And whilst they say they'll never do it, who could trust a word this government says? Not pensioners, not working people, and certainly not farmers. Madam Deputy Speaker, on an issue of such vital national importance, can we take that risk? Madam Deputy Speaker, every employer I speak to in my constituency of Bromley and Biggin tells me they have no choice but to cut jobs, wages and investment. That's true whether it's a nursery in Bromley Common, a large franchisee on Bromley High Street, or a charity serving our borough. This is what an anti-business government looks like, not a pro-growth one. These policies are all the more bizarre as the Prime Minister once said that wealth creation was his #1 priority. Well, the reality is he doesn't know how to create wealth, only tax it. Taxing family farmers who will be forced to sell off their land. Taxing family businesses that will be forced to sell. Taxing high street businesses that will be forced to close, and taking jobs so working people face redundancy. Madam Deputy Speaker, it's not too late for Labour to spare family businesses. Family businesses which employ 14 million people and contribute 575 billion to the economy. Labour's decision to cap and cut the business property relief risks breaking up these long-running family businesses. And instead of continuing these businesses, the next generation will be forced to sell. The government's policies won't grow the economy, but hollow it out. Britain simply cannot afford Labour's assault on our nature's economic future.